views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning this morning, and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk, all day. It is Monday, the 24th of August, 2026, and you are on the clock with, I'm glad I made it through this weekend, Greene. I can't even use my first name. I just glad I made it through this weekend. I experienced one of those weekends. I haven't experienced it in about 20 years. I mean, periodically, a hurricane will pass through the place. And you will be without water, without power for a significant amount of time. But the more impactful part of it is that you're without communications, right? Like you just don't know what's happening when. This was one of those weekends. Last week, I brought to the forefront what's happening to our cousins in Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is the home of the one and only Michael Jackson, right, and the Jackson family. In fact, a number of African-American-centered communities in Indiana have been sort of ignored, right, They're still without light and power, water. They're still suffering post-hurricane dynamics. That's how I felt this weekend. I experienced from Saturday to Sunday about 15 plus hours on half power and 17 plus hours in total without power. And from the Friday night into the Saturday morning, we had anywhere from 5 plus hours without electricity. It's not the loss of electricity. Just like a storm, it's not the storm, it's the post-recovery, right? So with these power outages, it's not just that the power is out. And I think a lot of people are sort of throwing shade, diminishing the concerns and complaints of ordinary people, right? It's just a power outage. You live through it. But it's not just the power outage part that has us stunned, that has us stunted, that has people in a panic. It's the uncertainty, right? It's the uncertainty. So the area I live in experienced, like I said, from Friday night into Saturday night, 5 plus hours, it could have been more. I went to sleep at about 2:30, woke up with the power back on. Saturday into Sunday, 15 plus hours on half power and 17 plus hours total without power. And then it appears as if there was an electrical incident related to the power lines that started a fire at the top of Johnson Road. I want to say good morning and thank you to the Royal Bahamas Police Force Fire Services that came through. I mean, they did their job, and that's what we're thanking them for. They did their job. They were assisting putting out the fire, but the homes impacted by said fire have senior citizens, and I know that they were grateful, right? And thank you to all the residents and neighbors in the area that came out to make sure that everything is okay. This is second fire in the area within a month, and I will say this, you could get like 8 bucket truck right now, 8 bucket truck, and do all of the maintenance work that y'all were supposed to do over the last 3 years. Y'all could come do that now. I mean, maybe give us some notice so people could organize their lives and be prepared for extended power outages. But put that aside. I know y'all working on that. Put that aside. You could figure out some line maintenance schedules like right now. But I see this entity is having a massive problem on all ends. I got to ask this question. Why did it take almost 12 hours? Why did it take almost 12 hours for BPL to post a notice for the power outage? Not an update, you know. Because an update comes after the notice. Not an update. Why would it take almost half a day, 12 hours, for a notice to be posted on the BPL Direct page? So I got some questions. Call, I see you on the line. We're talking BPL right now. The next thing we're going to be talking about is road safety. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Erin. Greene. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, sir. How you doing?
Well, the gentleman tell us to go on the beach. I don't know.
No, I couldn't go on the beach.
I can't get on the beach.
Because there's no disability access. Further to that, even if there were disability access, it's unlikely that you would be able to use it because taxi drivers and other unscrupulous and careless road users just park their car anywhere. But go on.
But you know, it's bad PR. I remember back then, several years ago, when we lose power, you get information to your cell phone, and nothing like that, on expiration updates, or when the power's come back on, or you know what the situation is. You could satisfy with that.
Yeah.
But you sit in the sweat and no information coming to your phone in the technological age. Nothing.
Yeah.
The bad management and bad PR, all them need to go.
Yes, sir.
So you and I don't know if you remember update on the phone.
Yeah.
About in a decade yet.
Yeah.
You know.
I think so what's happened is that the nature of the technology that an entity like BPL would use to make a broadcast has changed, right? And what BPL now has is, I can pull out my phone, they have a BPL Direct channel, right? Oh boy. They have a BPL Direct a page, WhatsApp channel. You have to sign on to the channel, and then you check it regularly. You could set your phone to send notifications, so every time a notification is posted, but you have to find the channel and you have to add it to your WhatsApp account. I also found in my in my downtime looking for information, I found this app. It's BPL Service Hub, right? And you're supposed to be able to log. You're supposed to be able to log an outage on the BPL Service Hub, and I guess with your phone, location turned on. When you log it, it'll track. I don't know if it'll track the GPS, but it provides a map, right? And then you could log the outage. And let me tell you something. Whoever built that, just put the thing, BPL Service Hub, put that in a pretty box, and then put the person who made it in the box, and then put the person who endorsed it in the box, and then put the person who signed the check to pay for it, put all of them in the box, right? And tie up the box and put it on the Betty K and send it to somewhere where people will understand what it is. Because
what's the matter? Tell me to go on the beach. I can't go on the beach. He said, that beautiful lady put me in a wheelchair and take me on the beach. What do I am?
You see what I'm saying? It was so disrespectful.
Yeah, disrespectful.
It's happening all the time. You bring in some person affiliated with the Bahamas, whether they are a Bahamian, right, and they're working abroad, they're of Bahamian descent, or they married to a Bahamian, and they just come here and they say the wildest things to us.
Say the right way. They say the dumbest thing.
The dumbest.
They need to apologize to people like me in the wheelchair.
Yes, they do.
That really said the elderly people who might be bedridden and can't get in no damn wheelchair.
And what if the power's off and I can't charge my wheelchair to be able to try and make it to the beach?
You know?
Yes, sir.
The beach, make it to the beach. Now you make it to the beach, you have all kind of strokes.
But you can't leave. See, in these power out incidents, you can't leave your house. See, before the power go off,
Right.
you go to church, you pray, you come back home, power's on, right? Because you
Right.
said a good prayer. But now you got all kind of surges pushing through the place. When the power comes on, it's starting fires. I recommend to people, like, I know it's hard to think about doing it, but when the power goes off and an unplanned outage, you need to stay home and monitor your
Exactly.
home and monitor the area around you, because the people that ain't trimming the trees.
No.
If you see, I put up one post and I get bite by a spider. The person messaged me like very concerned. How you get bite by spider? I had to remind them we all live in the bush, right? But where I live is plenty bush. And I thought it was an entry for the independence ceremony, community pride competition. The transformer looks so pretty with all the green vines growing up on it, and then some of them turning brown, and so now you got the color contrast. It's just so beautiful.
I'm surprised you don't get attacked by the vacuum. There wasn't no day.
No. Anyway, listen.
I just want a gentleman to apologize, man.
Absolutely. I mean,
Apologize to the table community.
he owes all of us an apology, but
Yeah,
I
oh, yeah,
agree.
no, definitely.
Specifically, a portion of that apology should be directed to people living with disabilities, differently abled people, and the elderly, and children, the vulnerable children,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Apologize
yeah.
to all of them. It was so disrespectful.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. And
Thank
Hartford, he made me sad.
I got you. You cussy.
That's the best thing.
You know how to cuss in comedy? You gotta learn how to cuss in comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I teach you that next time I go on.
Yes, sir. No, but don't cuss me. We can just practice it.
No. I
Okay.
teach the community that. All right.
Thank you. Great to hear from you, sir. Great to hear from you. Okay, let's go to some texts. I'm thinking the people who pass Goodman's Bay every day must be numb to this. I just drove by for the first time in 4 months, and I was beyond shocked. Those beach chairs that used to be on the edge are now all the way to the middle of the beach. By 2027, they will have taken over the entire beach. Where's Brave Davis? Because he's the buck stopper. No, he's... Oh, okay, maybe. I didn't think of it like that. The other 32 appear worthless. Can we please have all those beach chairs removed immediately? Texter, I agree with you. I with you with this one. Did you notice the cars illegally parked all over Cable Beach? Did you notice them? Were there any cars illegally parked on Goodman's Bay proper? Right? And again, where is Brave Davis? What did our Prime Minister say when representatives from the development project, directly in view of the Prime Minister's office, what did the Prime Minister say when representatives from that entity suggested to their staff, if they didn't want to park their car on Goodman's Beach, which has limited parking, which is designated for beach and park users, right? They should go park it by the Prime Minister's office. Anyway, I want to get back. Yeah, the texter says, yes, but I almost twisted my neck when I saw the beach chairs. So let's tie it into this conversation. Yes, the gentleman, Mr. McKenzie, at BGC, owes all of us an apology, right? Can't you see that the beaches are somehow being reserved for foreigners and for people with foreign interests, people who are not Bahamians? How disrespectful of you to tell us in 2026, man, why wouldn't you go to the beach? Because we can't. Because our access is being shrunk, right? The refusal to not retrofit, but fit public beaches with public facilities for the public. The refusal to maintain regular and frequent police patrols with police who are prepared to police, right? Render many of the public beaches inaccessible for sensible people. And then there's Montague Beach, which is directly across from SIB in the Governor General's office, where beachgoers have to compete with taxi drivers. The taxi drivers, they like what they do. They like to reverse from inside the entrance of the park into the intersection at the Montague Village Road access, into the intersection. Or they park in where people supposed to access the sidewalk. Or they parking on the sidewalk. Or other people are parking in the park where the children's supposed to go and play. Yes, go let the children play in the sunken ground where the muck, the mire, and the mosquitoes are, so we could park our cars neatly in your park. That's the beach that we should go to. But we cannot go to the beach, sir, because we have to be home to prevent forest fires and other hazardous incidents from burning down our homes, because you guys are unable to do what it was we were told you were going to do. Let's stick a pin and go to the phone line. Good morning, caller.
And a pleasant good evening to you. And good morning to you, Miss Greene. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, Saturday morning, I put a thermometer out on my front porch to check out outside temperature compared to inside. Where I got the ductless and 2 fans. Mm-hmm. When I came out there Saturday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, it was over 93 degrees. Mm-hmm. 9 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. The power went off. The only thing I did, I said, turn on the van, put the 2 dogs in the car, and go for a ride all around Bay Street, Old Fort Bay. Hopefully when I come back, the power will be on.
Was it on?
No.
Yep.
So I said, go the other way. Go east on Prince Charles and come around Shirley Street and go back the other way and come back. Luckily, when I came back, it was on. Yeah. But then I spoke to a gentleman down in the Lifer Key area. We was talking. He said it was so bad, the heat was now. They had power, but they were inside their den. Outside is a patio and then a pool. They noticed the dog, the potcake dog, was to the back glass, and it looked like the dog was getting a stroke from heat. The dog just took into the shakings. So they ran and they opened the sliding door, brought the dog inside. The dog jumped up on the couch and went to sleep.
Yep.
The dog was having a stroke because of the heat. Yes, it wasn't because of the power. It was because of the heat.
I got you, Sparky. I got to go. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, man. Thank you. 93 degrees. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. You still there? I'm sorry, I missed you. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, Miss Greene. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Right on, money. I'm glad that you mentioned in the beaches, right? Could we get someone to actually stay there, so police or someone on Goodman's Bay Beach, from people speeding up and down the beach, please? Because the cars parked there, which is already illegal, right? Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But then the children walking down, and people walking, but people speeding up and down through the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't get it.
We saw a video of police officers trying to stop a car several months ago, just doing the same thing. They're treating the beach like it's the track. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for that. Let's go to the next call. Good morning, caller.
Boy, Miss Greene, I can talk fast because you running everybody today. Firstly, I want to talk about there's a court matter now, so I have to be very careful. Mm-hmm. With the 10-month-old baby.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
There was a police that was charged with that.
And you know what I find interesting, sir? Let me tell you what I find interesting. I took those stories down for today. You know what I find interesting?
Yeah.
This. When the first story, 17th of August, right?
Please don't hang up on me.
No, I ain't gonna hang up on you.
Okay.
It just says that a man told investigators that he had been driving along Prince Charles Drive in a Nissan Versa, right? With his girlfriend's 10-month-old daughter unrestrained in the front seat.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, it says, you're right, there's a date. It says shortly before 3:45 a.m., that's when they were alerted, right? Yeah. The second article, the follow-up, is the 21st of August, right? And it identifies that the man in the first article is a police constable, right?
Yeah.
You continue talking, and I can pick that up in a moment.
And my next point,
Mm-hmm.
a 14-year-old was in a car with 2 men.
Mm-hmm.
A 14-year-old now, 1-4.
And she apparently,
And they got her
yeah.
drunk. What a 14-year-old doing drinking with two men in a car?
What?
And thirdly,
Hold on. But let's flip it. Hold on. But let's flip it. No, but let's flip it before you go.
Yeah.
What two grown men doing in a car with a 14-year-old?
But what a 14-year-old doing in a car with them?
No. Pause. What are two grown men doing in a car with a 14-year-old? See, at 14.
The girl mother said that she knew the driver.
Yep. Okay. At 14.
Yeah.
Science, medicine will tell you that a 14-year-old's brain is not entirely developed.
No.
At 14, in fact, your brain don't stop growing till you hit about 30. The brain actually doesn't stop growing till you hit about 30.
Some of these men brains must be still growing.
Or not growing at all, or stop growing when they was 12. The point is, I'm not asking what is a 14-year-old doing in a car with two big grown men. I'm asking, why are two big grown men allowing a 14-year-old in the car with them that they are not related to, that they do not have a specific purpose to take them somewhere? That's my question. I know what a 14-year-old is doing in a car with two big grown men, using their undeveloped brain. That's it. Their undeveloped brain. So let's think about it like this, right? If we know that a 14-year-old's brain is undeveloped, what are two big grown men doing in a car with a person with diminished capacity?
And getting a drunk.
Well, we don't know what happened.
Well, that's what it was saying.
Right. It suggested that she was intoxicated.
I'm saying what I heard on the
I know. I got you. I know. I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you.
Yeah.
Right? I just saying we gotta. Sometimes that's why I critiqued Michael Barnett Ellis last week. I think it was her, or Komalafe. It may have been Komalafe, on the statements about sexual assault and what seems to be a rising trend, right? And see, using that word trend suggests to me that we are not properly
we can't manage this.
Assessing the situation. We can't even get to the root of the problem.
But Ms. Greene,
Yes.
in closing, you
Yes, sir.
called Ms. Komalafe and Ms. Michael Barnett.
Yes.
This brings me to my last point.
Okay.
On the 18th of this month,
Mm-hmm.
the FNM had some type of celebration.
Right. For the 19th, remember the 19th would mark the 34th anniversary of their first win, the FNM's first win.
And Mr. Ingram,
Mm-hmm.
I let the person play the clip back for me at least 3 times because I wanted to say exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm.
He said the FNM. Now, the leader of the FNM is there. Now, I'm not too sure of the deputy leader because he looked like he going underground. But they had other candidates there, other members of parliament there.
Uh-huh.
He told them the FNM needs to go out
Mm,
and find a leader.
you like that word, out, eh?
Out. That means who was there.
I got you. Okay, see?
The minute he said that, the leader of the FNM is supposed to get a piece of paper and a pen and resign right there and then.
No. Okay, pause. No. Why? Because who's Hubert Ingram now?
But Mr.
Hold on.
Ingram is their savior.
No. Hold on. Who's Mr. Hubert Ingram now? I ain't.
Mr. Ingram is their savior.
Listen, I am not resigning because of that. Now, that may have caused me in my heart to want to fight Mr. Ingram, right? But
Yeah, man,
no, it ain't that. You can't be fighting old people, man. Pintard no better than that. You could never win. You could never win. You cannot.
Green, you being a leader.
Listen, hold on.
You being a leader of an organization.
I'm very excited, but what you saying? Hold on, man. Hold on. It's the out part. See, because I already knew that what Mr. Ingram said is directed at Pintard. We already know that, right?
Yeah.
But it's the out part that you said. Let's talk about that, man, right? Because I figured, without realizing the importance of the word out, I figured that somebody in the party tell Cartwright to step back, because whoever rolling with Pintard this lap ain't gonna see the front line again. So you step back now to better your chance of coming back in. But see, now you brought the word out into the conversation. I hear what you're saying. All of y'all have been deemed
But the
incapable.
Cartwright might have been in there.
Well, see,
That's maybe why he had to tell them they have to go out.
but this is what I'm saying. Because you see Cartwright already been put on the outside.
Yeah.
Now, but Uncle, somebody going to call in and want to talk PLP business. And
PLP business open. The PLP business like a book,
Okay.
like a Bible.
All right. Thank you.
Everybody could read that.
Listen,
That's open.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
You touch on all the topics I was preparing to touch on this morning. But yeah, we don't question why is a 14-year-old girl in the car with two big grown men. We question what is wrong with two big grown men. That they think that they should be fraternizing with somebody with diminished capacity. Let's go to the next call, and then we're going to go to the text line. The texters say, man, Julian, you need to talk about BPL. No, he don't need to talk about BPL. I'm going to talk about BPL. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Erin.
Good morning. How you do?
I am wonderful.
Good.
Listen. First thing first.
Mm-hmm.
How did your Friday back to school giveaway go?
Oh, it went great. You know how I know it went great? I was jealous. I was so jealous looking at all the kids' faces and the joy of receiving things that they could see themselves using in the new school year. I was jealous bad. It was great.
And you didn't go and get yourself your little bag thing?
For the children, them to talk about me on the radio. Look here.
Hey, girl, listen.
Hold on.
Godchildren. What you talking about?
I work hard, right? I volunteer a little bit. I work hard. And then, let's just say I spotted something. And somebody give me some bags. And look here, when little children put their eye on me, I said, Lord, if that child try to fight me for this bag now. So I gave it to some
fight
people.
you with their eyes.
Yeah. Hard. and I could feel them. They say, Mom, I see when you trip down, when you get old, and you trip down, you think I can help you? No. So I had to make sure everything went to the kiddies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Second thing. We need a government for the people. That's the phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Why say that? With this quote unquote go to the beach conversation that I caught you on this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We need beach access.
Yeah.
We need access. Me, I for one, I'm much of the go to the beach type of person. But if I go to one beach, I can't malign.
Oh, hold on. Let's talk about something. Cousin from the island, right? Let's talk about it. The lack of development, the inability or the unwillingness to develop the family islands at a rate that will keep pace with New Providence development, right, has forced thousands of Bahamians to leave their island of birth, to leave their communities where they got generation property, where they have a greater proximity to crown land, right? The lack of infrastructure, the inability to provide consistent, basic, essential services like electricity, water, and telecommunications and healthcare services, right, has forced thousands of family islanders to come to Nassau, right? To the speaker say too many darkies in the place. To just tighten up the place, right?
But super
dance. Let me finish. I can be quick. I know I was taking long. Super quick. To come to Nassau, to can't find no nice beach, can't find no open landscape to go relax themselves, right? Like you force people to come to New Providence, and then they can't access the beach at all, and certainly not the types of beaches that they used to. Go on, ma'am. Sorry about that.
No problem. I appreciate that because while you was talking about telecommunication and all those other infrastructures, how about just a proper radio station? Because on a family island where I am from, in deep in there, you could only pick up the AM station.
Yeah, 1540 and 1540 is still down.
You understand?
Because they would have announced if it was back up.
You could scantily pick up other stations that bounce in and out from time to time, but you could pick up a foreign station better. You understand me? So how about just simple something like that?
Yes, ma'am.
All these years,
Oh, yeah, I bet you.
50 plus years. And where are we today? We are the same place where I was when I was born 50 plus years ago.
Which is
On the family island.
Which is why on Friday I drew the two special events or two notable days: the FNM's 34th anniversary of their first election win, and the Davis administration's 100 days in on the second term. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And in reading up on what Mr. Ingram said at that event, he talked about what the 1992 FNM did for the country, right? And how it modernized, it began this modernization process, right? Mm-hmm. Of particularly of family islands, access to electricity, running and access to running water, right? And in the celebration of the first 100 days of the second Davis term, the only thing that I could think to tout is that all of the work that Ingram set in place in 1992 has been destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Has been destroyed. And I can't say exactly when it started, but certainly in this last 4.5 months and 100 days, right? It appears as if we and the Family Islanders have gone all the way back to 1992.
No, all the way back to 1991.
There you go, 1991. Yes, ma'am.
You understand? And all because of why? Because you didn't put it there.
And
that's a terrible mindset to have.
I want to take it away from the sort of malfeasance and let's put it into the incompetence, right? They don't know how to fix it. They really legitimately believe that PR, that fancy PSAs and social media content can fix a problem.
Like, you know what's even worse for me, when I think about it in my day-to-day, Erin,
mm-hmm.
is the fact that we have people in this country who are suffering in all of this heat with the rest of us, and then they smile and say, but it happened under listen, the next man in there.
Mm-hmm. And governments are continuous.
Thank you. So whether it happened under the next man or not, and I am feeling that if they had continued with the coup from Wadzilla to continue to maintain those generators, we would not have been in this situation we are today. We might have some issues, but I highly doubt it would have been this bad.
I hear you.
Because as soon as those persons left and went back home, we start having issues.
From the Wadzilla side, from the first one before the Pike, and then it happened again with Pike.
Exactly.
Listen,
you understand me?
Thank
Things
you.
started to get a little better, but because they wanted to be the one to say, okay, and what are they taunting? What are you talking about? What are you celebrating 100 days for? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hold on.
Bury your head.
I celebrated it. Hold on, cousin. I know you run. I know you. I didn't want to say you run hot. I run hot just now. I said they were celebrating. They ain't celebrating nothing. They didn't even mention it. They didn't even, only the ministry, I think, responsible for urban development, Lisa Ramming, is that it? Only her ministry in that capacity, they had a 100-day event where they highlighted all of the things that they have achieved and put in place over the last 100 days. Just that one entity. Ain't nobody else. They know better than to try and celebrate anything right now. Another point I want to make, it turns out that Brave Davis may have been in charge in some capacity of energy, BPL, because he was in power, 10 out of the last 14 years? Something like that. 10 out of the last 14 years. As Prime Minister, as Deputy Prime Minister, as Minister of Works, right? You've been right there the whole time. And it's likely that you would have operated as like the shadow Minister of Works, right? The shadow Minister of Works when you were in opposition. Let's go to the text line. Good morning. America is so racist. They are not quick to act because Gary, Indiana is majority black. I am very, very concerned. About what we're going to call race relations and the security of African Americans in the American South and across the American continent right now. The number of incidents that look like lynchings has increased drastically over the last several months, with African Americans raising concern about their personal encounters in things that they are encountering in their communities. And yes, I'm very concerned for my African American brothers and sisters and people of color in the United States of America. Here's another text. Good morning. My off-grid solar system also experienced load shedding this morning when my energy load shifted from my battery backup to my solar panels. I hardly noticed it. Here's a text. Good morning, Erin. We are paying the Minister for Energy to do her job. The PM says the buck stops with him, so why do we need a Minister for Energy? With her continuous silence, she should be removed and fired. I don't know if it's silence as opposed to her just not saying the right thing to the right people at the right time. 2 signings, 1 power crisis, and an absent minister in today's Nassau Guardian. Amid a power crisis impacting New Providence, Abaco, and other areas of the Bahamas, last week, Minister of Energy, Utilities, and Aviation, JoBeth Colby Davis, who has gone quiet on the issue, traveled to Tennessee for the signing of amendments to an agreement on aviation training for Bahamians. The original agreement was signed by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, while he was, and we're going to go to page 6, Aviation Minister last year. Colby Davis and a delegation were at Middle Tennessee State University for the signing. Back home, thousands of Bahamas Power and Light consumers were contending with repeated blackouts that have stressed families and strained business resources over weeks. I mean, I think JoBeth Colby owes the whole country an apology. It is the PR of the ministry, it is the PR of Ms. JoBeth Colby that has led us to this point of frustration, because we all knew not to expect anything from BPL this summer, and yet the minister and state actors touted their success with BPL. They spend so much money running ads about the improvements at BPL and the great work that they were doing. That's why people are frustrated. Not because they don't know that BEC, BPL, and now BGC look like under tobacco dove arm. It's because they were convinced that everything was going to be fine this summer. They were convinced that you all had it under control. And then there are those who are going to say, but this was an extraordinarily hot summer. We could not have expected, we certainly did not have enough time to schedule the type of maintenance necessary for the equipment. They didn't say that part. They mentioned nothing about maintenance. But what they did say, it was super hot. Of course the power can go. Of course the equipment could be affected. It's super hot. Do you know when they started predicting? Do you know when they started forecasting the weather conditions for this summer? Months and months and months and months ago. That's why on my radio show in March and April, I told you, get your generators, get your electrical life sorted out, because this summer is going to be something you have never seen before. And you telling me, with all of the money that we're paying the minister, all of the money that we're paying the management, the executives and administration at BPL, at BEC, and at BGC, you telling me that nobody just checked the forecast? Nobody did any research to determine if the conditions, like the environmental conditions, would be significantly different, such that it would cause them to restructure the renovation program? Nobody? Why don't y'all just pay me to not do my job? Pay me to not do the job. I would like that. It would hurt me in my heart, because Corinne Mitchell say, if you ain't gonna do the job, don't go to it. But maybe with all that money, I could do something good for the church. Anyway, we're going to a break. When we get back from the break, more texts. We're going to get back to 10-month-old baby dies and some more headlines before we go. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can. again.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Orthopedics, where movement becomes medicine and treatments become triumphs. At Cleveland Clinic, it's more than just repairing what's broken. It's how we put ourselves back together to reconstruct, rehabilitate, and restore the things that give us life. The future of orthopedics is already in motion. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back-to-school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene. This is 96.9 FM. All right, I got a text here. It says, road safety. Do you recall when the buck stopper asked for a minute to remember the Cat Island residents who died tragically in the car accident? The transport minister then said they'd be taking immediate action to improve road safety. That was 2 months ago. Well, surprise. A month ago, I was listening to a music station and I heard road safety ad. Never heard one on Guardian. Is the committee only concerned with the safety of non-Guardian listeners? This text has prompted me to say something out loud, right? Governments don't have enemies unless they're at war. Yeah? There's economic war. There's military war. There's a cultural war, right? Governments don't have enemies unless we, the country, are at war. You know who has enemies? Political parties have enemies. If you're running a national road safety campaign, right, then you run ads on all the national broadcast channels. Listen, you just run it everywhere. Why? Because governments don't have enemies. Only political parties have enemies. Yeah. Even so, this is not a road safety campaign. A jingle? Remember when they said they was going to make the children make the jingles to play for their parents, the same parents who not only don't listen to them, but are willing to risk their lives by driving the car with them in it with no seatbelt on, not stopping at stop signs or red lights, cell phone in their hand, jumping the curb, ignoring pedestrian crossings. You making the children make PSAs for those adults? And yet, There's not one real road safety action taken. Has not been one real road safety action taken. You still got police officers doing the most foolishness on the road, running red lights, turning left on red, rolling through stop signs, but worse of all, not enforcing breaches, obvious and overt breaches happening all around them. There's no road safety campaign at all. It is a joke. In fact, it's a mockery. It's tantamount to treasonous. Because the roads are not safe and it's your responsibility to make them safe. Coming to work today, road delay. There's a team doing some line work. There's no real signs up anywhere. There's no real indication that there may be delays ahead, detour, roadworks ahead, nothing. I will say this, though. The people them had about 4 cones. The cones were not erected properly, and they did have a sign. They had a sign immediately in front of their vehicle. What do you think the sign said? The sign said, no parking. That's what the sign said, no parking. They tried. Not very well, not very hard, but they tried. There's no road safety campaign going on anywhere. And whoever's getting paid for that, pay me to do nothing, please. I would like that. Not for very long. Again, Corinne Mitchell weighs on my heart. Here's a text, the girl. The article said the girl was given something to drink. It didn't say alcohol specifically. That's why I was making the distinction. Thank you, texter. The texter said, Julian need to talk about BPL. He said, election over. Stay out FNM stuff. See what I tell you, Julian? See what I told you they could say? But don't worry, we're going to talk about the PLP too. Ms. Greene, if nobody's teaching the young girls, they will always be victims. You always forget that nothing you can say will stop a predator. The prey have to be smarter. The police need to go to the schools and talk to them, male police, because Erin, y'all females expect the predator to change and become a Christian. Y'all females? You hear what you just said, y'all females? You close to the predator line as well, texter? First of all, don't be throwing shade at people. And second of all, be very accurate when you throw in the shade, that you don't hit the wrong person. Third of all, be sure that you don't expose yourself. You know what we really need? We need grown men and women that are prepared to step to their predatory friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, right? Employees. We need big adults who are prepared to turn and look to their friend and say, bro, I know you's a rapey boy, and I can't tolerate it no more. You cannot be around me. And in fact, it's only the law preventing me from giving you the beating that you should have gotten a long time ago, when you first thought you could come amongst us decent people and talk about your predatory exploits as if we wouldn't know what you're talking about. Where are the adults? I was in the food store 2 weeks ago on the 10 items or less line. I hope the gentleman knows that I'm talking about him. First of all, he don't follow instructions. Why you have 14 items at the 10 items or less line? Second of all, why you trying to chat up this little girl who's just doing her job? And you think you're being slick and polite because you're not talking about anything sexual. Why are you chatting up this young lady on her job? Look like she only been out of high school a year and a half, maybe just a couple of months. Why y'all don't talk to y'all friends and tell them stop being rapey? About y'all females. And put you on the rapey bus too. Females is a descriptor of humans. They're male and female humans. Female humans are called girls, women, ladies. Y'all got some other words for them. I ain't gonna say it right now. Put you on the rapey bus with the rest of them. Good morning, Erin. Didn't the young Hubert Ingram fought an old Sir Lyndon Pinland and won? Not that type of fighting. I was referencing the kung fu fighting that break up the table in the cabinet office. Pintard is not going to fight I would have, in my heart, I would have wanted to fight. From the moment that Ingram got up on the stage and say, don't worry about what Pinto, I'm paraphrasing, and saying, ain't nobody teeth in no election in the Bahamas, it's small, I would have wanted to fight him from back then. But Ingram I like to call it special Obeah. That gentleman is a special and talented man. I would never actually even try to trip him down. So Lyndon, okay, so Ingram fought Noel Linden and won. It's time someone in the FNM stand up to Ingram like he did with Linden, and you'll see how much of it will inspire scores of voters, but they won't. Morning, Ms. Greene. Maybe the consistency of the frequent blackouts may be a subtle message to justify the BPL overtime. I'm just saying. I'm less concerned, well, here's what I'm concerned about. Why, if electricity is an essential service, like now you're banking, they want you to do all your banking online. They don't want you to come into the bank, right? So you need electricity to do that. Now that electricity is an essential service, why are the labor schedules organized in the way that they are, right? This is an essential service. What I am more concerned about in the fiscal health and sustainability of BPL is non-contributory pensions. Yeah. Here's a text. Morning, Erin. And one of those Tennessee states had a tornado last week, I think, would really happen in Gary, Indiana again. Erin, you know who's from Gary, Indiana? The Jacksons. Yeah, that's why it hit me in my feels. Erin, you are related to the Hanna family, and you are friends with the Central Bank of the Bahamas. I am friends with the Central Bank of the Bahamas? You go ask them. Ask them if I don't cuss every time one of them pop out the bank or pop out the parking lot and just throw themselves in the road, totally ignoring the pedestrian crossing up on the hill. You think I's friends with the Central Bank? So please don't get offended when I say that the Central Bank needs to remove the $100 80 Hannah Brown color currency bill out of circulation, because most Bahamians and myself are unable to deposit that currency using an automatic banking machine. The banking machine keeps pushing that currency out of the machine every time we try to deposit it. There are no issues depositing the blue $100 bill using the banking machine. The issue occurs regardless if the brown $100 bill is crispy and brand new. Please address this situation. Well, I am a Hannah Hasty Time, so I must be powerful indeed. I will address it. You telling me that I should not get upset when they take the $100 bill, 80 Hannah off the $100 bill with a brown color currency because the machine won't accept that. And I shouldn't get upset? Text her. I am a Hannah Hasty Times upset at you. You go find a friend or your Grammy to sit with you while I say this. You've already run me hot because you think the problem is the bill and not the machine that cannot accept it. That's what you think the problem is. You think the problem is the currency, the bill itself, the color of the bill. Did the machines reject the brown $50 bill? Did they reject that? You don't think the solution is to fix the machine? See, I all kinds of Hannah Hasty Times angry now. This is the type of angry when you looking at little children and realizing you cannot smack sense into their head because that's against the law. But how will they get it in there? Because what they using ain't waking. We should change the bill and not the machine. Not fix the machine. Change the bill. When I say this is a D-average country, and it's a D-average education system, I'm not saying the students are D-average. I'm saying, Texter, you've been dipping in that D-average pool. Yes, you did run me hot. Thank you. Ms. Greene, we are all Bahamians, so F&M business is all I believe you. Don't be a party if I can't speak on you in my country then. That goes for F&M and PLP. Yeah, okay. So, maybe this week, maybe next week, I wanted to have this conversation. Remember, I keep telling you all about Article 73(1)(a) that says that on any occasion that the Governor General must appoint a Prime Minister, they must appoint the leader of the party that commands the most seats. And remember me telling you that our Constitution, that provision, is unique to our Constitution, and other Commonwealth constitutions don't have it, right? Well, in Barbados, earlier this year, they passed a law called the Anti-Defection Act, right? And basically, here's how it would work if the act is in the Bahamas. if you were like Iram Lewis and you ran under the FNM ticket and you won the seat, and then you get upset with your party members and you decide to leave the party but not resign from your seat, well, this new law states that you have to resign from your seat. You have to resign from your seat because it's the party, right? It's the party that you ran under that's tantamount, that's most important, not the candidate, right? That's so similar to me. I'm not a lawyer. It seems, not cause and correlation, not the same. It seems so similar to me to Article 73(1)(a), in the sense that it rests the power with the party and not with the individuals. Now, here's the difference between the Bahamas and Barbados. Barbados has already declared its journey away from the Westminster system. Barbados is already in the process of becoming a republic, a full republic. Maybe they ain't gonna go that far, but they already started the process. We are still pretending like we are deeply ensconced. That means entrenched. That means like your foot stuck in the mud in the Westminster system. In fact, every time the Crown speaks and West Indians locate themselves in the environment, the Bahamas waits until they locate themselves and then finds greatest proximity to the Crown. So at the very least in the Bahamas, we should declare that we have moved away from the Westminster system and tell us what we are. I think we are the perfect little dictatorship. I call it the brilliant little dictatorship. That's what we are. And we need to grasp that. Thank you, producer, for your patience. Text us, I'm sorry. Text says, you sound like one of those disgruntled people who pelted Ingram with peanuts, and I think we need to do it again. No, look how you try to get me in on the aiding and abetting. No, sir. But instead, we need to use the golden joke eggs and block him from entering Parliament. First of all, we can't hit him with any golden joke eggs because we don't know where they are. Plus, that would be assault and battery. We ain't doing that. We're not promoting physical violence. You have to learn to cuss in comedy. It will make your days more enjoyable. Erin, I agree with you. We need to expose these predators and the people who protecting them. You see a stop sign on the road? It's the same stop sign in life. Don't trust people who don't stop at stop signs. Good morning again, Erin. For the life of me, I don't know why drivers use cell phones while they're driving. Because police do it. MPs do it. The Prime Minister don't have to do it because he don't drive himself. I show him a reel, tap him in the back of his head. You're doing foolishness, sir. But that's why, because police do it. The judiciary do it. Oh, everybody doing it. And nobody enforcing the law. I ain't doing it. You guys, have a great day. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM. C.A. Nuri is up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.